The Santa Rosa Post Office and Federal Building was designed by James Knox Taylor, supervising architect for the U.S. Treasury Department. Taylor was known as the national architect due to his efforts to improve federal buildings across the country, with designs that were compatible with the building's surrounding environment rather than imposing a grand federal-scale design. Congress introduced a bill to construct the post office on March 9, 1906, and passed the bill on June 28 following the 1906 earthquake that devastated Santa Rosa on April 18th. The post office became part of the Santa Rosa rebuilding effort and was the city's first federal building. Constructed by the local Hoyt Brothers contracting firm of Santa Rosa, the building is a great example of Roman Renaissance revival, with limestone columns and Spanish terracotta tile roofing, a style that was popular in California at the time. The cost, when completed, was approximately $60,000, or 31 cents per cubic foot. Postal employees, including Postmaster H.L. Tripp, moved into their new post office on March 9, 1910. The actual move took place at night after the distribution of the evening mail, so as not to disrupt postal delivery. Tripp and about a dozen postal carriers served the city, which at the time had a population of less than 10,000. The postal workers were given the use of the first floor, with the Internal Revenue offices upstairs. The building featured an automatic oil-burning plant to operate a hot water heating apparatus, the first system of its type in California. This system, which provided instant hot water in the lavatories and showers, was made public in the Bay Area years later at the 1915 Exposition in San Francisco. Upstairs in the attic were secret viewing corridors, accessible by a series of shafts and ladders that allowed the postmaster to perform routine inspections without being seen. In 1967, after postal services moved to the new Santa Rosa Post Office on 2nd Street, the building was sold to the county of Sonoma and was used as a data processing center for the school district. Following a major earthquake in 1969, the building found itself on the list of structures to be demolished as part of the Santa Rosa Urban Renewal Agency's plan for a regional shopping center. Historian Gay LeBaron recalled the destruction of the earthquake and the clearing of buildings to make way for the mall, stating, "One building stood alone on the northern edge of this wasteland, a majestic building with 4 stone columns." In April 1974, Santa Rosa architect Dan Peterson nominated the post office to the National Register of Historic Places, citing the integrity of the structure, its renowned architect, and stating that it represented the pride the community had for its high-quality craftsmanship by local people. California state officials recommended the nomination, placing it on the register and saving it from demolition. However, one problem remained. They still needed to clear the way for the mall. In 1979, a team led by Dan Peterson took on the impossible task of rolling the 1,700-ton building 2 blocks, from 5th Street to 7th Street, adopting the slogan, "They said it couldn't be done." By raising the structure and using a bed of rails and a network of pulleys and cables, they rolled the building several inches per day. 800 feet and 75 days later, the post office was successfully relocated to its new home on 7th Street. Following the move was an expansion and remodel to convert the post office to a museum, which included the addition of the basement and mezzanine. On the 2nd floor, a former lavatory was converted into a gallery space, though the hidden window can still be seen from outside. The stunning chandeliers in the lobby were salvaged from the now demolished Polson building, which had neighbored the post office on A Street. With the support of the Sonoma County Bicentennial Commission, Sonoma County Historical Society, and the community, the Sonoma County Museum officially opened its doors on January 12, 1985. Today, over 110 years after the construction of the post office, thousands of locals and tourists can enjoy the architecture and the changing art and history exhibitions presented by the museum. As times change, the building, an achievement of a community's rebuilding efforts, continues to be a symbol of Sonoma County's resilient spirit.